Disney is one of, if not the, most iconic animation and film company to ever exist. With the rise of Disney Plus, the acquisition of Marvel Studios, and their constant stream of films, TV shows and theme parks, they have rightly pushed themselves to a handsome net worth of over $130 billion. But today, we're not talking about the modern day Disney, but the namesake of the Walt Disney Company, Walter Elias Disney. Born December 5th, 1901 in Illinois, then living much of his childhood in Missouri, Walt Disney started his infamous life. At 16, he dropped out of school to join the army, but was rejected for being too young. His first setback on his path to success, but this didn't stop his thriving for travel and helping people. He joined the Red Cross and was sent to France for a year, where he drove an ambulance. He then returned to the USA in 1919, where he started to focus more on his pen and a camera. No doubt this is more associated with him now than an ambulance. Once back in the USA, he met a young cartoonist by the name of Ub Iwerks and started his first venture, Laughograms. He created cell animations and screened them at a local theatre. They went down a treat, and with success rolling in, he acquired a studio and hired his first employee. But success can only last so long, at least for the inexperienced, and in 1923, the studio had acquired too much debt, and Disney declared bankruptcy. Later that same year, Walt moved to Hollywood with his brother Roy, and now partner, Ub Iwerks, to start the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio, which later changed its name to Walt Disney Animation Studios. They began creating cartoons, with their first notable cartoon, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, being contracted for $1,500 per cartoon through New York distributor Margaret Winkler, who later stole the rights to Oswald, along with many of Disney's early animators. Setback, yes, but how many people know the name Oswald the Lucky Rabbit nowadays? You know who they do know, Mickey Mouse. In the late 1920s, Disney released a variety of cartoons telling the story of Mickey and his friends, who nowadays make up the key branding of the Disney company. This wasn't the first time we'd seen Mickey though, with his first appearance being made in Steamboat Willie, an early cartoon where Mickey was voiced by Walt Disney himself. Interesting fact, Mickey was nearly called Mortimer. Now let's move on a little to Walt Disney's first feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Released during the Great Depression, the film managed to bring in a whopping $1.499 million in revenue, an astounding amount for the time and economic climate, and foreshadowing for the current records broken by Disney's recently acquired Marvel. He went on to produce many films in his lifetime. Some important features such as Bambi, Cinderella, Peter Pan, 101 Dalmatians, all the Disney classics. This also included Alice in Wonderland, the Lewis Carroll adaptation, which had previously featured in a Walt Disney film, all the way back in the Laughogram days, when he had created some short films called Alice in Cartoonland. He's quintessential in the film and animation world nowadays, and this all came from this work during his lifetime. However, what was the man like? Well, while he was clearly a hard worker, an innovator with a phenomenal creative edge, there was an alleged darker side to his sparkle. In the 1930s, Disney was known to attend meetings of a pro-Nazi organisation, the German-American Bund. He also hosted a Nazi propagandist and filmmaker, giving her a tour of Disney Studios. He was also accused of perpetuating black stereotypes in his films, suggesting he had racist tendencies. There were plenty of supporters who claimed he was none of these things, but the debate rages on, and with rumours that are tough to dispel, I leave you with the ability to choose how to judge his life. He died at the age of 66 of lung cancer, leaving the world with the building blocks for the greatest film and animation studio that the world has seen. While yes, he had his flaws, he gave the world a sparkle that few have provided, and he shaped the TV and film industry as we know it. An iconic entrepreneur, and a life well lived.